love bugs in cyber world. Welcome to yet another fabulous episode of season 5. I'm excited. I hope everything has been going so good for each and every one of you that are viewing, and that anything in this world, honey, is attainable. You just need to put your mindset, create a plan, and execute it, okay? Those are just some quick start off the, kind of show with some wisdom, honey. So listen, in Girl Talk, I want to talk about... Let's talk about what's going on with Brittany Murphy, okay? Let's talk about Katt Williams fighting a 17-year-old and all that other good stuff to come in my Girl Talk, honey. And then on today's show, it's going to be very just me. I want to sit back and really talk to you guys about support within yourself. And when I come back and we get into it, I'm sure you're going to understand. You're probably thinking, like, what do you mean support within yourself? But when we get to it, I'm sure I'll break it down for you guys, for you to understand what I'm talking about. Okay, I'll be right back with Girl Talk.
Young, wild, and free. We don't care what you think. We're more than you see. And we believe there's nothing we can be. You're young, wild, and free. We don't care what you think. And we believe there's nothing we can be. There's nothing we can be. We believe there's nothing we can be. We're young, wild, and free. And we believe there's nothing we can be.
So welcome back to Girl Talk, honey. You know what, this is one of my favorite segment, girls. So listen, I just want to talk about and address Sir Katt Williams, honey. So, Katt, first, this whole Twitter beef with, Kevin Hart and calling him out there and all this other stuff for, I don't know if it's for a means of seek of attention or if there's really beef going on. Recently, a video hit the internet, and Katt was out in the local community, and he was playing soccer with some kids. And for some apparent reason, a 17-year-old rubbed Katt the wrong way. And instead of being a grown adult as Katt Williams is, and the, comedic actor and public role model and figure that he's set out to do in this world, he gets in a scruffle with a 17-year-old. It was one of the most hilarious things that I saw, because I've never seen a grown man. First of all, it's okay to argue with a kid if they're your kid, because that's what you need to do with the teenagers these days. But he was arguing with a 17-year-old who rubbed him the wrong way. And then so he swung at the 17-year-old. Katt did swing first. I watched the video. And then so the 17-year-old him get into this ground scruffle, and he headlocks him, and he has, him like this, Katt on the floor, and some folks break it up, and, Katt sits there, and I just found it hysterical that I don't even know how old Katt Williams is. I'm sure he's probably in his early 40s, if not mid to late 40s, and he may be tailing end of the 30s as well. But to sit here and have a physical altercation with a 17-year-old kid from a soccer game in the inner city of where you were out doing some good charitable work is quite foolish. And I just think, Katt, you need to do some better choices. I think that if you're going to do charitable work, let's do charitable 100. I understand respect, loyalty, and your manhood. I get that. But having a video record going online that probably has a little over 1 million views by now of you scuffling and fighting a 17-year-old teen is not cute. Not at all, honey. That's what I'm saying about that. Let's move on to how Brittany Murphy, I don't know if you guys remember this story. Brittany Murphy is and was one of Hollywood's upcoming talents. She, I want to say the first time that I really seen Brittany was in Girls Interrupted, but she was in Clueless, which I believe came out before that, so but I didn't know she was Brittany, because it wasn't, anyways, you get what I'm saying. So she literally died, I want to say this was maybe in 2009, that they found her dead, and she recently, before she died, purchased Britney Spears' house in the Hollywood Hills, which in the home that they found her dead. And then about 5 months later, they found her husband or significant other, boyfriend, dead from the same situation. So now people are talking. This is a mystery. This is a mystery. She couldn't have died from over-the-counter drugs and from having pneumonia and all these other things that they're saying that she had. Dad grabbed a hair sample. Hair sample showed some types of poison that is also created within rat poison, but then the coroner kind of deemed it being because of dyeing of hair. So there was some shade involved in, the speculations of how she died. So it looks like that folks is interested in exhuming the body and autopsy to kind of really get to the bottom of this now some few years later. I just want to say that I found it very, very peculiar, and it was upsetting to me when I found about Britney's passing, because I really respected her craft. I think she was a very talented actress. She was phenomenal in horror movies, and like I said, she was one of Hollywood's breakup and upcoming rising stars. And I did foresee an Oscar in her forefront if unfortunate things didn't happen as such of her being, either murdered or suicide or accidentally. It was ruled accidental. I would hope that it was something accidental, because I think that someone of that caliber is way too put together to commit suicide. But then again, that you can never tell. So we'll see what's happening. We'll continue to follow it. What do you guys think? Do you think that there's some shadiness behind this? What was shady to me is the 5 month to date of the husband dying from the same type of reason. In my head, what goes through my head is that her and her husband or the boyfriend involved into some shady actions with some shady people, utilizing Britney's name, and, she was out there. She did, accrue a lot of funds from her movies. So I think there was something shady there that was owed to somebody who didn't get what, was whatever, whether it was over drugs, whether it was over, a loan shark, or whether it was over, just a bad deal go wrong. I don't know. And I'm hoping that whomever, and if they decide to exhume the body and reopen the autopsy and see if this is a foul play, that if it is foul play, that the folks that's responsible, definitely justice prevails, because A, it's not cute to lose a life that young, and B, she was so talented, and if it was over some foul play, anything and everything comes to the light at some points. Whether it's a cold case and it takes 40, 50 years, it comes to light, honey. So remember that before you're thinking about doing some shady things, y'all. It will come to light. Regardless of what you're doing today, if it takes 100 years, it will come to light. And that's all I have for my Girl Talk today. I apologize. Sir Leo Brown could not be with us today. He is here within spirit. And he'll be back soon, I'm sure. And I want to thank you for watching, and stay tuned, because we're going to talk about supporting within yourself right after this. Hey loves, welcome back. So today I just want to kind of really get into, supporting yourself. And what I mean by that is often we seek outside of ourselves to support, for the support in whatever it is we do. It doesn't necessarily have to be within drag. It doesn't necessarily have to be within, your career. It's just in general, we as human beings and as species, of that species, we tend to want to get support on anything that we do. See, here's what I found out in life, is that support is a wonderful thing. When you have support, endless things can be, is possible. But in the same token, without support, if you support within yourself and believe within yourself and support yourself in everything that you do, and when I say support yourself, and that goes in a level of to not even discuss. And when I mean supporting yourself financially, physically, emotionally, and really just knowing you, knowing who you are, knowing what it is that you want to do in this world, what is in life for you. So when you learn that, you can go ahead and get the support from others. But listen, the support that comes from without side of yourself isn't always necessarily the right support. It is not always necessarily the best support. You know, it's really hard to find someone or a foundation that will support you unconditionally, okay? Unconditional love comes from really home. And sometimes, and most times, it's not even unconditional, because parents these days have issues with the way their kids' gender becomes, or, excuse me, or their sexual orientations are. So, can't even say that at home love is unconditional anymore. And, you know, but what I say that is, listen, baby, and baby girls, if you, and I'm talking to yous right out there, believe in what it is that you stand for, believe in what it is that you want, nothing and no one will ever be able to knock you own support for you own self. And I recently did another video that I want to touch base on about the devil. See, the devil is a liar. The devil is a fraud. The devil is a phony. The devil will put things and people in your life, okay? And those individuals who you think are there to support you, yeah, they're really there to support your downfall. See, the devil wants you to crumble. He wants to beat you down to your last breath. That is his way of saying that he wins, see? But when you believe and support yourself, there's nothing that liar, fraud, or phony can say or do to have anyone bring you down, because you support yourself. And when you support yourself and you bring all of that out, and it's all about your own spiritual being. Listen, to whomever you deem your higher authority is your choice. I want to touch a little bit about what T.S. Madison said too in one of her videos about these protesters, about homosexual lifestyles. She hit it home. You know, in the Bible, for one, I'm a strong believer is, who am I to judge? Judgment day will happen, and when it comes from your higher authority. It comes from Jesus. It comes from God, honey. So I will not throw a stone at someone else for their mistakes and their choices. And she said something else that really hit home too, is God is here and Jesus died to save the sinners. So if homosexuality is a sin, as long as you have a relationship and a rapport and a belief and your spirituality is where it should be, then you will then be able to repent and be saved. That is what the word says. That is what the Bible says. So when you're supporting yourself and these folks that are put in your life that are anti-supportive and they are faking to support you, honey, that could be a best friend, that could be a sister, that could be a brother, that could be a boss, that could be a cousin, that could be a significant other. When they're put in your place by that liar, see, by the devil, the enemy, it will become to what you want to do with it. And see, if you allow them to beat you down, see, with me, I get beat down all the time, and I like it. I like to get drained so I can be restored and I can be renewed, because that's how I overcome my addictions, my demons, my sins. I like them to beat me down so I can't no more, and I surrender. And I ask Jesus for forgiveness. I surrender and I ask my Creator to forgive me, for I have sinned, and help me be the better person that I need to be to get one close step to heaven, okay? That's what I do. And I'm not here to preach to each and every one of y'all, but what I am here to say is that believe in you. Take all those negatives that are thrown at you on a daily basis and turn them into a positive. Support yourself. If you want to transition to become a woman, support yourself. Do it. The support groups are fabulous, honey, but if they're no good if you're not supporting within you, okay? If you want to transition to a man from a woman, same scenario. If you want to do drag, if you want to, come out the closet, if you want to, be a gender fluid individual, whatever it is you want to do, babies, do it. Just support you and don't let nobody misguide that support. When that support is misled and misguided, that's when the issues start happening. So I need each and every one of y'all to remember that you can be the best you at any given moment. You are going to get things thrown at you in life that you're not going to like. You're going to have things set you back in life. But see, that's why it's called life, for you to learn, grow, and go through it. And once you go through it and you learn it, you move on from it. So with that said, y'all, I ain't going to sit here and preach much longer. All I want to say is, again, I support me within me. And I thank the support that I do have. For the fake support that's out there, bye. You're under my feet like the devil is. Keep it real, y'all. Support yourself. Get to where you want to be by doing what you love to do. And yes, like I said, the support is great. But it's even better, honey, when it comes from within you. With that said, double kisses. God bless. Stay humble, stay focused, stay grounded. Most importantly, treat people the way you want to be treated. And I will see you next week. And again, thank you for all the support and love. www.facebook.com/The Rainbow Show. Get some free stuff, honey. Just go on the wagon, just check it out. And don't forget us to subscribe on www.youtube.com/The Rainbow TV. And again, love you guys, honestly. Mwah.
We don't care what you think.